Ladies, gentlemen, it's great to be here at the end of the day on this stage. And you have to abide with me for some time because I'd love to present the startups we're currently working with under the Smart Energy program. But before we get there, I'd like to give you a bit of an overview how Rockstart worked over the past years to create where we are now. And I'll be quick. First of all, you see it at our logo. We love startups, so this is a great day to be here with Jan and all the startups. We think startups are great because they're, in a way, the rock bands in business. They go on stage without necessarily mastering their instrument yet. They're not an orchestra, they just go on stage and they see how their audience is really responding. That's what we love about startups. They go and find out whether their product makes sense immediately. We've been developing Rockstart over the last 6 years, starting out in 2012 with a web and mobile accelerator. And every year since, we've run a web and mobile accelerator program focusing on internet technology in general. The first few startups that we worked with, you can already track down and see how successful they've been. Peerby, Passbook, and Aulin are examples of startups that have been raising 5 million euros or more in their last investment round. Some of the other startups that we started out with have been sold already. And thereby we've been able to prove that our model of helping startups in their early stages to find their way of making business really works. 2 years after we started with the general web and mobile program, we focused on energy. And actually, Ima Bosma, who's now at Eneco, was there as the first program director, building a program specifically for the energy industry, focusing on startups that use internet technology to make a change in the energy sphere. And since then, for the 4th time this year, we've been organizing the Smart Energy program. And I'll get back to that later, because we added more. Also, healthcare is an important societal issue. So we decided in 2015 to launch a program in Nijmegen in collaboration with the university there to build an accelerator that's focusing on using internet technology in healthcare. And this year, in Den Bosch, we're starting an artificial intelligence accelerator. And this is the first artificial intelligence accelerator in Europe, and it's creating a lot of attention. Not in the least place, because already investors have promised that at least one of the startups that are going to join this program this year will be invested in with 200,000 euros immediately. And next year, and this is maybe a little bit of a spoiler, we aim to launch our food tech accelerator as well, touching upon different societal themes using technology of today and the technologies of tomorrow. Outside Europe, we've established ourselves recently in Latin America. We've been working with startups from Latin America already for a longer time. We've now established a hub which can become comparable to our hub in Amsterdam to create a community of investors and startups and mentorship that can serve the Latin American market and help the entrepreneurship grow in and from Colombia. So how do we work in an accelerator program? Well, typically it's a standard formula. We select 10 startups to work with during that year. And the way we approach it is that we fish in the pond of great startups by scouting a lot of them and selecting those that we think have the best potential to grow. And we bring them to Amsterdam, as you can see here, to the canals in Amsterdam where we have our offices. And we bring them to Amsterdam to work together for 150 days under pressure. Because we found out that by bringing them together and creating pressure of building your company, a lot of value occurs quickly. You get to prove yourself immediately. We bring them on stage and they need to start performing as from day one. And we require every startup to bring at least 2 of their founders to Amsterdam for this period of time and work with us. And it's hard work. Every day during that period, and this is counting the weekend days too, these founders are sitting in one room, sharing knowledge, helping each other to become successful, because they all have a different business but a similar profile, and they can benefit a lot from working together. But not just that, they also get a lot of access to capital, of course, investors that we have in our network, that we help to see what startups are there, and we help the startups to meet the right investors. But as importantly, we also connect our startups with the market. Especially in the energy industry, it is crucial to be able to connect to the existing industry, to validate your product, to create partnerships, and to be able to scale. Otherwise, you're just there alone, and you won't grow fast enough. We also create and we maintain a community of startups, of investors, of mentors, of experts and industry that we organize to come together regularly, share knowledge, and make sure that they open up for new innovative products. And thereby we're also able to provide a lot of expertise to those startups, just made specifically matched with the needs that they have at that moment. If someone needs marketing, we can provide an expert from our network. If someone needs knowledge about artificial intelligence, we can make that connection. And thereby, industry experience and know-how is connected with entrepreneurs immediately and within a few days basis. So basically what we aim to achieve during an accelerator program is making sure that every startup we work with is capable of raising a 300K investment round or better. And we do that by making sure they validate their product, that they create their first traction while being under the program, and get access, as I just showed, to the relevant knowledge and resources. And that leads to investor dinners like this in our beautiful ballroom in Amsterdam, where we can really have a chat with the investors that match with their profile. So let's have a look a little bit deeper into smart energy. We believe that the energy system of the future, of tomorrow, is a distributed system, it's a decarbonized system, and it's a digitalized system. That's why we're here. And we've been able to build a community of business and partners and investors that really supports this. In the first year, it was started with the Doen Foundation, the City of Amsterdam, and the grid company Alliander, providing the first necessary venture capital, access to smart city, and smart grid solutions. In the second year, we added a group of informal investors that came to help with money and knowledge and capacity to keep investing. But also Engie joined us, and we were able to grow our network from a Dutch network to a Benelux network. In 2016, a Central European utility leading in Central Europe joined the group, and they're actually also investing through Invent Group in startups today. So adding more informal investors and other investors and a big utility gave us a European reach. And the last year, this year, I'm proud that we have also added more informal investors, but also other industry players that are relevant to be able to connect to. They make this smart energy program possible, but they're also keen to connect in a very early stage with the relevant startups and innovations. Over time, the startups have touched upon different themes, and you have seen a few of them today. Initially, these were the themes. In the second year, it was more about smart home and utility solutions, and we started also working with African and Latin American startups. And last year, it became much more IoT-oriented and also hardware-oriented, like smart meters, smart plugs, and smart ventilators. And now we're here, ready to see the startups of 2017. They are actually now in the program halfway. So they are not yet ready to go on stage, you might say, but they still do. They lined up here, and they dare to go on stage before they're ready. So I think that deserves a lot of respect. And I'm proud to bring them on stage, and I hope we can raise your appetite to come back to Amsterdam on September the 13th, when we have our demo day, and these guys are fully ready for their first investment round.